So Jason, you're a vocational teacher in Norway, and we're talking about Creative InternPrize and the new platform that we've been working on. What do you see as the big advantage of that platform for you as a teacher, first of all?
Primarily, when you send out a student as an intern to a company, that's a one-on-one relationship between the student and the company at that point.
Yeah.
With Creative InternPrize, it allows the teacher to be involved in a way they can advise the student, and they can also advise the enterprise during the process. They become more of an active participant without directing anything.
Okay. So, and how does it work for students?
Well, the cool thing with the student is now if they go out to work for a company, it's generally also a one-on-one relationship. With InternPrize, it allows them to work project-based. They don't have to be there physically, but also it allows them to build a individual profile, a professional profile,
Right.
because the projects they're working on will allow them to eventually profile out on their social media networks,
Sure.
for example, LinkedIn, or even Facebook or something like that, and say, these are things I have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that processing, or the profiling process, will help to build a kind of professional identity that people need nowadays in a way perhaps that they didn't need so much 20, 30 years ago, but now identity is really important?
Right. No, definitely. In that instance, they can identify with the type of work they've done. They can identify with possible jobs they can see for themselves, possibly looking into entrepreneurship. Maybe they say, hey, I have the skills here that I can possibly start my own company.
Right.
I can actually take this to another level. I can run this myself instead of getting employed by a company.
Yeah.
But it also opens for employment depending on their needs and wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing the convergence between entrepreneurship as a kind of inner quality that people have as part of their identity, and the world of work where on the one hand you might start a one-person business, and on the other hand you might go and work for a big corporation, but in either situation you need that entrepreneurial identity in order to succeed.
Yeah.
Because nowadays you're not going to be a kind of job's worth and just do what you're told. You need to have initiative and imagination and creativity. Is that the way you see this going?
Yeah, in addition to that, many people just go to school because they want a job.
Sure.
They want to progress in the workplace.
Yeah.
But through this process, through Creative InternPrize, it would also allow them to realize that entrepreneurship is a possibility.
Yeah.
They may not have had that as a focus.
Okay.
In the creative aspects of the skills they know from before, maybe they've messed around with a little bit of web design or graphics on their own.
Sure.
Now they can actually take that to another level and say, hey, I'm actually pretty good at this. I can actually make this into my career.
Yeah.
That may not have been their vision from the start,
Right.
but it could be something they can now pursue with support.
So it's encouraging ambition, and therefore it's motivating.
Yeah.
Is that-
And it allows the student to be involved in their own education and take a responsible role over their progression in the workplace.
Okay.